Welcome to WION World of Cricket. I am Isha Hanspal. 3 gutsy centuries by the Proteas, 3 commendable half-centuries by the Lankans. Sure, South Africa wins by 102 runs, but 326 all out. Well, I wasn't really joking, Dav. They did manage to close to chase that. They could have actually chased that.
Well, not really, but it was a good effort, I have to say. It's not often you say...
But it was not that short of 428.
Well, 102, that's a fair margin, but it's not often you say it was a good chase. I mean, you lose by 102, but, when you're looking at 428 to win, it was a good effort. I was pretty pleased with their fighting spirit.
Nikhil, going into the second innings, we thought that 240 would be a commendable total if they managed to post that. What do you have to say about their innings?
I think they went down fighting, and I was just seeing the scorecard. Pathum Nissanka, who has been their highest run scorer. In fact, he's the leading run scorer in 2023, just behind Shubman Gill. He got a duck, and Dumit Villalalge, who had a decent Asia Cup. I think if these two batters would have contributed more with the bat, they would have been somewhere close to 400. So, I mean, kudos to them, but 428 is too tall of a total to chase.
And there were still 4 overs to go, wasn't there?
Yeah. So, is this a function of maybe South Africa slacking in the fielding a little bit early on, or is it a function of the pitch being the way it is?
No, sorry, who was slacking off, Sri Lanka or South Africa?
Yeah, South Africa in the second innings.
Yeah. Not really. I think you can give credit to the batsmen who pushed all the way for both teams. I think the difference really looks like being the bowlers. South Africa had a better bowling attack on that surface compared to Sri Lanka. Okay, we know that the Proteas had 3 very good centurions, but so did the Sri Lankans put up a good fighting effort on the same surface. I think the difference might have been the bowlers, to be honest.
By the time the second half century came along, at one point, Sri Lanka actually had more boundaries than the South Africans, and the aggregate run rate would probably be higher than the South Africans. What happened shortly after that?
Yeah, also, I think it was at the 40th over mark, or maybe 41st, Sri Lanka were the same runs as South Africa, but a lot more wickets down.
Yeah.
And, that was a reflection, I think, of one, the pressure of chasing a big total when you look at the scoreboard, and secondly, the quality of the bowlers of South Africa.
What do you have to say, Nikhil, about the pitch? We were just having this chat, and did we expect it to play out the way it did today?
No, of course not. Traditionally, it's a low-scoring pitch. That's what we have been talking about. But I think the pitches for the World Cup seems like, I think that's the trend that we are going to see. They are going to be more batters-friendly. And we also have to consider that, the ODIs are on a ventilator, and this could be the last time probably that we are seeing ODIs. So, I mean, I think they want teams to score more runs because this is not a traditional Firoz Shah Kotla pitch that we see.
Just a quick one. Did you hear one of the commentators say that after the game the batters will go to the head groundsman, knock on his door and give him a big congratulations, thank you very much, and the bowlers will do the same for different reasons.
No, I did not hear that, but that does make sense oddly though. Let's just check if we're getting some poll comments on this one, because I think at one point in time we all thought, okay, this is going to get wrapped up pretty soon, and let's gear up. We're pretty much setting camp here at the WION studios, the 3 of us and the rest of the sports desk, and we'll be here staying put for 40 odd days that we'll be here for the time that the tournament will be on, and we are keeping Dav Whatmore here with us, and I know that Dav's been really sleepy. We've been wanting to get home, but your former team would not let you sleep early, would it?
No, I don't. And let's also not forget a good positive for the Sri Lankan team with their captain coming into some sort of form with the bat.
Yes.
And it's been a while since we've seen the ball fly off his bat. And I tell you, he is potentially can turn a match. Yeah. He's potentially an impact player, game changer, to be honest with you. But his form has been really bad coming into this tournament. But we saw a glimpse what he could do in the rest of these games in this tournament.
No, that's what Dav correctly pointed out. He's an impact player. I remember when he was making his debut for Sri Lanka. I mean, he would, and that's how he became a captain. He would play those impactful innings. He would come and there's 40 overs, you need 100 to chase, and he would smack the ball hard and would play according to situation. So he's an impactful player. He's not a top order batter, but he will contribute with the bat and with the ball. So he coming into the form, I think it's a plus for Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka next play Pakistan, if I'm not mistaken, in Hyderabad. Lessons to be taken from this one, going into the second game of the tournament?
Well, you know, I would working, if I was a physio, I'd be working really hard to get that Thikshana ready to play. And I saw a clip of him bowling in the nets, and he didn't look too disturbed with his leg, but it was more of a precaution, I think. So, you know, it could be good news for the Sri Lankans when they play their second match, because that kid can bowl in the power play as well, and I'm sure that he couldn't do any worse than what's happened today. And I know the Hyderabad wicket can be a really good one as well, but last game it was holding up a little bit bowling first, so that toss could be a good one to win as well. But let's wait and see.
No, and no, irrespective if this was a Pata pitch, as we call in India, you know, it was a road. But you have to give credit to Aiden, Markram, Quinton de Kock and Rassie when Dussen. It was a masterclass. That's what a title is. It was a masterclass. How do you decode it? Because Aiden Markram, he timed the ball really well. All cricketing proper shots. How do you describe those innings by Quinton and Aiden Markram?
I think it's a day out, really. How often does South Africa score 400? How often does any team score 400? It was a day out. It was a wonderful effort. We were privileged to have a good look at three of those batsmen who did absolutely beautiful, who batted beautifully, and we were treated to some brilliant batsmanship. Really, hardly any slogs, but beautifully timing. And most of the guys' footwork was really good too. So, you know, it was one out of the box.
Yeah. So your opinion of South Africa's innings doesn't get altered even a bit after seeing Sri Lanka as well post that over.
I didn't say that, but I just, again, a little extension of time. We're making judgments based on one game, but on this pitch against that opposition. Let's just
the shine is not dulled even a little bit.
No. Let's just hold on for one or two more games, and let's see. You know, before we make definitive comments about the potential of these teams making the semi-finals. Yeah,
still a strong contender for the top four.
On this performance, Ish, for sure.
Okay, let's go to some comments. Interesting one, most of them commending both the teams actually. Sri Lanka lost both its warm-up match, and today's loss will definitely dent their confidence. The way they fought today, hoping them to perform better. A word of confidence for Sri Lanka there. Ruksahan says, not the kind of start Sri Lanka needed in the World Cup, but Mendes, Asalanka, Shanaka getting runs might come in handy as the tournament progresses. Well, they seem to be really complimenting Shanaka, Mendes and Asalanka. A lot of congratulatory messages coming in for these three. Yeah. However, Gilhan is a little negative. He goes like a defeat is a defeat and is nothing like a victory, but Sri Lanka can take away many small victories.
Well, all those comments are pretty right.
From this match, Nevertheless, well played to South Africa.
Yeah, Asalanka, he looked sometimes he was a bit slow. I would have loved to have seen him hit that left arm spinner a bit earlier. But he made up for it a little bit in the end, a little unlucky to get out. Mendes, of course, was the one to me. He was the one that set the tone. A little bit unfortunate he didn't get support from his opening partner. The two openers, to be honest, one made a duck and the other one struggled with a few balls to get a handful of runs, and that's it. But he was the one that began that chase in earnest, you know, and some of the shots against decent bowling, like pace, were breathtaking. That hit across and whack it and deposit it over the fence many times was really good to see.
I don't want to pull out, I told you so, but I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but I was kind of pushing for Mendes' name before we went into the innings.
No, you did. And he was able to trust the bounce, trust the speed of the ball off the wicket.
We have
We have a few polls.
Yeah.
We asked the question, who is going to be your man of the match? The option that we gave were Quinton de Kock, Rassie Dussen, Aiden Markram, Kushal Mendes. 72% feel Aiden Markram. Was he your man of the match? He was the official man of the match?
Yes, absolutely. For me it was, because the way in which he attacked the game. I mean, as I said earlier, he had a platform before him from which to launch, but gee, that batsmanship was breathtaking. He deserved it.
Of course. Another poll that we are running is, are South Africa one of the title contenders now? Means it's still early stage, but what's your opinion? Yes or no?
Oh, you want mine before you give out the polls? A title contender on that form, surely. Like you would say the same thing with New Zealand, wouldn't you?
Of course,
yeah. You know, but I'd hate to go this way. You know, I want to be as consistent as possible. But on that performance, you'd have to discuss that.
Yeah, and that's why 64% of audience feel that they are the title contenders. And last poll was, does South Africa have the most fearsome batting lineup in this World Cup?
One of them. I wouldn't say the most fearsome. One of them on their day. Like any team on their day would look world beaters. You know, and it's not often you get a pitch like that. I'm
You are going to have a word with the curator of Arun Jaitley Stadium.
Well, if batsmen will come and give him a pat on the back, but bowlers will be coming in like that.
A lot has been said about those guys, though, on the top. The top six, a lot has been spoken about the batting charge that the Proteas carry. And, of course, there are a few other teams that do come close and who are, if not better, as good as them. But then South Africa, we cannot ignore their batting lineup.
No, you can't. Absolutely you can't. So that's why, you know, on this performance, surely they'll be discussed very positively at the end of the tournament when they're still alive.
And you know, the teams that were under the radar coming into this World Cup are doing so well. Like New Zealand, I mean, they were there. South Africa, they have done so well.
Yeah, they're surprising a few people, aren't they? So at least they're surprising at the start of the tournament. Let's see where they go.
Tomorrow will Australia do that to India? They have also come under radar for this World Cup.
Well, yeah, I know. Their warm-up games haven't been too bad.
Yeah.
But the previous three matches against this South Africa, not too good either.
They were 2 up and then South Africa came back and won 3 of those.
That's right.
Dav, would like you to react on that. Sharik says, South Africa team well known as best fielding, for having the best fielding, but their fielding performance was very bad.
South Africa?
Yeah. This is Sharik.
I thought they were okay, and you know, in a bit of greasy conditions, it wasn't as bad. You know, I think they were a little bit harsh with those comments. Certainly better than Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka didn't field too good. They dropped a catch or two and misfielded. So unfortunately, you know, sometimes bad fielding happens, but I think South Africa were better than Sri Lanka.
I think Sharik is a John T. Rhodes fan, so I think he has a standard sky high. So maybe he's expecting those kind of fielding efforts. But
from South Africa, right?
Yeah, but they were decent.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Oh, this is another one that comes in. Satyakam says, Sri Lanka today produced better cricket than Netherlands yesterday and Afghanistan earlier today. All 3 of them lost their matches, but Sri Lanka have been hurt the most in terms of net run rate. Wonder if something can be done about it.
Yes. What was their net run rate? I don't know.
Satyakam's,
Yeah. Look, that of the 3 teams that have lost, surely I think they were the better of the 3. So that all goes well for them moving forward, because chasing a big score, it's easy to, you know, well, we're never going to get this, and you leave it to the next person, leave it to the next one, leave it to the next, and all of a sudden you're 4 or 5 down for not many, but they didn't. They really fought it out, and that's a very good sign moving on. So there's some positives, good positives that the coaching staff and the support staff can discuss and review with the players moving forward. Yeah,
they have now, Sri Lanka now has the second worst run rate, minus 2.040. And on 10th is England with minus 2.149 with the hammering that they got against New Zealand. Because run rate can be crucial.
It's too early, I think, in the tournament. You're right. Whenever I know we always put you in the spot because we just like to hear you give us your predictions. But we do realize that it is too early on in the tournament to be even asking these questions, frankly. But I guess fans will be fans, us included, and we like to conjecture, we like to discuss this wonderful, beautiful game of cricket. And gentlemen, final thoughts about the game today before we wrap up on our proceedings for today's fixtures. Final thoughts?
Yeah, my comments would be, what a spectacle today. The fans who took the trouble to attend the game would have been royally entertained. It was a wonderful game of cricket, more than 700 runs, wasn't there?
Yeah.
More than, 750 odd runs scored in the day, and 10 wickets plus 14, 15 wickets fell for the day. And it was a great experience, I'm sure, for them.
I think we did pull off some strong contenders for the highest run getters, did we?
Yeah,
today?
I think definitely. And as Dav said, in Hindi we call it a paisa vasool performance. The audience got their money. The highest ever first innings total, highest ever total in World Cups. Only the first match which had 3 centuries. Aiden Markram hitting the fastest century. So that's what more can you expect? So I think it was a treat for the fans.
If you ask me, it's been really confusing last couple of days. Just when I think I can just relax easy, it's time to wrap up, go home. The game's over. Not that I'm not relaxed when you're watching the game, but we have to come here and we have to take your comments.
And we love doing it.
Yeah, we love doing it, of course. But then just when you think that you can get into your comfy PJs and actually watch the game, one of these just comes in and hits one of those blitzkrieg. So this has been very confusing the last couple of days, I have to say that. On that wonderful note, we're going to wrap up this show, which is the post-match of the wonderful fixture that we just saw. We will join you very soon in just a few hours to cover that all-important clash of the Titans between India and Australia tomorrow from the MH Chidambaram. Well, that's it from us on WION World of Cricket. Bye-bye.